In today's video, I will show you how to paint this penguin. I use brushes and texture from my watercolor bundle, but you can follow this with any brushes you are comfortable with. I use a paper texture called Canvas Basic. I will list everything I'm using in the description below. I will also link the sketch that you can download for free. As you can see, I already have my sketch here, and I will start painting on a blank layer below. I will load the opacity of the sketch. As a brush, I choose the watercolor for everything, and for the color, I choose light gray tone. And I will paint kind of shadows on the white part of penguin. Now I switch the brush to the watercolor detail blurred, and I will soften the transitions between color shades. Now I'll make a new layer above. I'll select black color and as a brush, watercolor for everything. And I will paint the black part of the penguin. Now I change the brush to the watercolor detail blurred and I will smooth the transitions. Now I choose the eraser brush which is set to the ink and I will clean the edges. Now I'll make a new layer above the sketch. I choose the watercolor for everything as a brush and black, and I'll paint eyes. Now I choose orange and paint the beak and feet. Now I choose a bit darker orange tone and add a bit of shadow. Now I choose brown and paint a book. Now duplicate the layer with black part of penguin. Go to Hue, Saturation, Brightness and set the brightness to the max. Then duplicate that layer several times and merge them all together. This made the flipper no longer transparent. So I take the layer with the book and move it below the white layer. Now the book is under the flipper and I think it looks good. Now I'll do the same with the layer with book, so I duplicate it. Go to Hue, Saturation, Brightness and set the brightness to the max. Then duplicate that layer several times and merge them all together. Now I can use Alpha Lock. As a brush I'll choose watercolor heavily diluted and I'll add some darker places on the book. I'll also add kind of flashes of lights on the book. I use watercolor for everything as a brush. And I'll add some shadows as well. I can move on and start painting earmuffs. I will do it on a separate layer. I will choose light grey color and watercolor sip as a brush. I press quite hard and then the brush has nice irregular edges. I like them here because I want the earmuffs to look fluffy. I'll add some darker and lighter shades. Now I change the brush to the watercolor detail blurred and I will smooth it out a bit. Now I will paint the second one in the same way. Since I don't want the earmuffs to be transparent, I'll use the same trick as before. I will duplicate the layer, I'll go to Hue, Saturation and Brightness, and I will set the brightness to the max. Then duplicate that layer several times and merge them all together. Now I can easily adjust their size and position. Importantly, I can now also use Alpha Lock. Now I grab the watercolor heavily diluted as a brush and I'll add some darker edges to the earmuffs. Now I make a new layer below because I want what I paint now to be underneath those fluffy elements. Now I'll switch the brush to the watercolor for everything and I will finish painting the earmuffs. I'll add some shadows and lights and I think it's ready. I'll add a few more shadows. I think those details make it look more pretty. Now I'll make a new layer below everything and I will add some ground. I will use watercolor background to paint it. Now the penguin is transparent, but you already know how to easily change it. Now I'll change the brush to the watercolor blurred and I will smooth the ground a bit. I'll choose the watercolor seep and I will add some more darker shadows just underneath the penguin. And I'll take the watercolor detailed blurred and I will smooth it out a bit. I would also add some snow, so I will choose light grey tone and as a brush watercolor for everything, and I'll paint dots of different sizes. I will move the layer with snow above, so the snow will be visible on the penguin. And there we go, I think it's done. If you think I've earned it, please give this video a like and subscribe the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for your support, thanks for watching and happy creating!